Welcome back, everybody. Another episode of Sims Complete, and we got Phil Sims alongside myself, Matt Sims. Wow, that was a terrible introduction, wasn't it?
It sure was. You
Yeah.
want
How you doing, Phil?
you want me to tell the truth or lie? So it was terrible. And before we came on, I tell the people all the time,
Right.
that my son is what's the word for it? Sometimes he can be a jerk. You should hear the things he says about me before we come on. Hey, you dumbass, put your screen, rah rah. Oh, okay.
Well, I will say that from the comment section on the Believe YouTube page, that a
Yeah.
lot of people are definitely confused why I don't call you Dad on the show. They're like,
Yeah, you never have.
why are you calling your dad by his first name? You're so weird. But I don't know. Like, I feel like I haven't called you Dad in
I don't know if
man.
he ever did.
That's not true.
You
That's
called me a
not
lot
true.
of names over the years. I can't remember them all, but a lot of them I can't repeat here
I
because
don't
I don't
know
like to
about
curse.
that. That's
Oh
not
yeah.
true. That's not
Honest,
true at all.
come on,
But
son. Honesty is the best thing.
I
So just tell
definitely
the truth.
coined the nickname Big Phil, though. That's for sure. But I did
Well,
not
yeah.
call you these other names that maybe Christopher has recreated since then.
Well, yeah. Well, I think you were part of that too. You recreated it into something. See, it was okay, Big Phil, but now it's
now it's now it's
it's
morphed into something else, something
it's
evil.
the big effer.
The big
So
effort,
okay,
yeah.
yeah, okay. One day I'm gonna write a book. I'm gonna tell the truth about my boys.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Go ahead,
My
yeah, go
chapter is
ahead.
definitely going to be way shorter than Christopher's. I know that. But
I don't know about that. We had a lot more to deal with, maybe with you than we did him.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Okay. I don't
Okay, yeah.
not
It's
really,
going.
actually. Not
No,
really.
I know. So, well, listen, I was coming back from the doctor this morning,
Yeah.
skin doctor as usual. I go in the skin doctor and she's always the same. Phil, we got a lot of work to do. No kidding. That's why I'm here, but
Yeah.
whatever. So I'm on listen to the radio. I think it was, I'm not sure which channel I was listening to, Sirius XM probably. And they were ranking the quarterbacks in each division. So I thought, wow, okay, how interesting. We're going to do that today too for our last two divisions. We're
What
going to
division
start
were
out.
they talking about, though? Just out of
Oh,
curiosity.
well,
Were you
they hadn't gotten to it. They were talking about all the drafted rookie
Oh,
quarterbacks
okay. Right.
first. They wanted to kind of who's in the best situation,
Yeah.
and oh my god, so we're these quarterbacks. It's nonstop. That's the way it is.
It is.
Everywhere I go, everything I do, I can throw over here in the field with you some nights,
Yeah.
and the first thing, well, which quarterback you like in the NFL? I mean,
That's right.
it's
Well,
everybody talks about it.
really in our area, obviously, because we are in this New Jersey, New York area, the first question is, so what do you think about Daniel Jones? And then
Oh, sure.
it's all the other quarterbacks after that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, you believe in Daniel Jones? I'm like, it's
Yeah,
just
that
every
and
time.
don't you get a lot of Aaron Rodgers stuff too? I do. What
Yeah,
about the Jets?
sometimes. Definitely, I don't know. I guess I'm surrounding myself with more Giants fans these days.
Yeah.
So
Well,
that seems to be the discussion more often.
me too. And then, I meet a lot of Jet fans too. Especially when I go out to New York City, whatever, meet a lot of Jet fans. And when they try to get smart, I go, yeah, hey, how's that working out for you?
That's
Yeah,
right.
it's really going well. So,
Yeah,
of course, you can say things about the Giants too, but
that's
the
true
Giants
too.
do have 4 Super Bowl winning teams.
That's
So
right.
that's pretty good stuff right there.
Remind them, Phil. Remind them. Yeah.
Oh, not me. I wouldn't do things like that.
Yeah, that's right.
It's all good. Hey, all right, let's get going. We're going to do
Let's
the
go.
AFCs. We're going to go with these quarterbacks. So we're going to start with number 4, and I'll let you go first today since you're younger than me.
Okay. All right. So at number 4,
I think we're going to have the same one. So let's go.
yeah, I mean, I think our list will be actually
Probably.
identical today. What
Ooh.
movie is that from, Phil?
Hold it. I know it.
Come on, you should know this.
Down South, Fred Gwynn.
The two youths.
Yeah. He's Joe Pesci.
Come on,
And
man.
of course, my favorite actress. I love her. Let's see. Oh, come on. I can't think of the name.
My Cousin Vinny.
My Cousin Vinny, yes.
You should know this, man. That's a
I
classic.
know. I've watched it 20
Yeah.
times. I know. Every time I watch, I laugh because it is funny.
It is very good.
And Fred Gwynn, the judge, he's awesome
He
in the
is.
movie. When you just kind of just watch him. So, and of course, they all were. They were all good. And what's the girl's name?
The OG Herman Munster, too, right? That's where he really kind of started his career.
Yeah, I was watching him after school, Herman Munster. The Munsters and all those kind of, I guess, I don't know what you call them, sitcoms, whatever they were very funny. Who is the girl in My Cousin Vinny?
Why am I blanking on this right now? I'm looking it up right
Oh,
now, actually, because I can't
oh,
even.
you
Marissa
are.
Tomei. There you go. Yeah,
Yes,
unbelievable.
she is great, and she's good in everything. Yeah,
She's a
and
good actress.
she looked on. What was the word? I hate to be this way, but just how did she look in My Cousin Vinny? She looked great. Okay.
I'm telling my mother.
Yeah, tell her.
Unbelievable, Phil.
You know what Diana would say, your mother? She'd
Well,
go, "Oh, he's right. She did look good."
yeah, right.
That's what she wouldn't even disagree. So, all right, go ahead. Give me number 4, NFC East quarterback rankings. What is your number 4?
You did it again, man. The AFC East.
Oh, I said
Unbelievable.
well, no, I said NFC.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
we started with AFC, then you said
Okay.
NFC. Now we're going with the AFC, my man.
AFC. I got it
AF,
right. Hey, look, see this right here? I got it. AFC.
AFC.
It says it right on the top.
All
All right.
right. So at number 4,
Yeah.
Jacoby Brissett / Drake Maye. I don't expect Drake Maye to be the day one starter, but I do expect to
No.
see, Drake Maye at some point in this season. I think, we kind of have to put, really, if we did any list at any position or any standing, I feel like with the AFC East, we are going to have the Patriots at the bottom of that list right now because they just have the most to prove, I feel like, out of everyone in the division. I do
Yeah.
believe that Jacoby Brissett is a really solid NFL quarterback, a tough football player, has played a lot of football, is really just your quintessential solid number 2, but then can also hold his own for a long duration of time being in that starting lineup. We've seen that throughout his career. Big dude, strong dude, throws the ball pretty well down the football field. Every now and then the ball gets away from him as far as, his fundamentals go. But good leader, great guy for the locker room, and I think a really good influence too for the young QBs, including Joe Milton and also Drake Maye in that QB
Yeah.
room. So
Yeah.
at number 4, Jacoby Brissett.
Of course, that's who I have too. Jacoby Brissett, he's better than just a backup.
Yeah.
He's a 1B to me. And
Okay.
last year, I put my glasses on and looked, he's down in Washington and, backing up there. And the game he did play, he only went 18 of 23, 3 touchdowns, completed 78% of his passes. He's thrown for over 10,000 in his career. And I think what I like about him, let's see, he's big. He can take the hits.
Yep.
He has I think, a really solid, big, not maybe big time, but close to it, NFL arm. I
Right.
think he's pretty accurate throwing the football. He's tough. I'll never forget this. I was doing a Thursday night game up in New England, and they were playing the Houston Texans. Jimmy Garoppolo had a shoulder problem, and they thought, well, he's still going to be good to play in the game. Well, he comes in that night and says, I can't go. My arm, a shoulder, not doing it. Jacoby Brissett, if I remember right, had a torn ligament in his thumb. He couldn't even grip the football. And he went in there and played, threw a couple passes, ran the ball, whatever. Now, New England was much better than Houston at the time, and they won, but it just told me about him.
Right.
He didn't even hesitate. Hey, I'm ready to go.
Right.
And I think he's a couple things. Alex Van Pelt, the offensive coordinator now in New England, love his offense. I love it a lot. Deep throws downfield, play actions. We saw what Joe Flacco did. This fits Jacoby Brissett and Drake Maye perfectly.
Right.
That's what I think when I watch them. That's what I look at them as. How would they succeed? What kind of offense? And this is exactly what Alex Van Pelt does. And you said it, and it's real. Jacoby Brissett is truly the quarterback that will worry as much about Drake Maye as he will himself.
Right.
And that's what they want. That's what they got. And, man, I don't know what to say. I really like him a lot in his play, his body type, his arm, but his personality and who he is, it's just great for a football team, Matt.
Yeah, it definitely is. And I think this football team needs that, right? I mean, just,
Yes,
first time head coach, first time, offensive coordinator in this new environment with this first time head coach. There's just a lot of new pieces, I feel like, to the outlook of this organization from all those years with Bill Belichick and the Tom Brady years to now this, this trying to re-identify exactly who it is they are, right? And creating their new identity going forward. But you're right, though, too. I think Alex Van Pelt's offense kind of fits the mold of that area, right?
Yeah, it does. Good
Of the
point.
weather and the stadium and kind of how you need to win in New England, especially late in the year, right? Is being able to run the ball effectively, still have great play action passing, still be under the center for the majority of your offense because you want to win at the line of scrimmage. So I think all those things really play into, like you said, all the quarterbacks' favors for sure. And
Yeah.
Kendrick Bourne, very good receiver. I feel like someone that is probably better than what we think because of the fact that we just haven't seen enough of it really the past few years with their, offensive blunders. They signed KJ Osborne this offseason from Minnesota. I think that's a big one. I think
I
he is
like him.
another
Good
solid
signing.
football player. And they get Jalen Polk from Washington. He was kind of the 1B receiver there to Roma Dunze with Michael Penix and that football team with the Washington Huskies. So I
Right.
think they're doing the best they can to make those slow improvements and build for the future with this football team.
Yeah, last thing I'll say about this Patriots quarterback situation, all that. Jacoby Brissett, good leader for, as we said, Drake May, but also Joe Milton.
Yeah,
And what they want to do is one day they want to get Joe Milton to a point where we think he's good enough now and we trust him to be the backup.
right.
And so here's the thing, you said it, New England.
Or trade him for
Or
future investments.
maybe that could happen. It
Yeah,
depends on how he shows himself.
right.
But I think you said something that is really true. New England, I did many games up there. On a great game a day for a quarterback is a 20-mile-an-hour wind. And I mean, it's
Yeah,
come on, it can get rough up there.
it
So
can.
you need a quarterback with a strong arm, and all three of these quarterbacks we've talked about. All three have really good arms where they can still succeed even if it's windy, cold, whatever.
Right.
And that was not the case really for New England last year. I'm not going to be mean or anything, but they had quarterbacks that didn't have the physical capabilities to have great, sustained, big time success.
Right.
And that's why they went out and they changed that whole roster. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah,
All
great
right.
point.
So is that good? That was
That's
number 4.
Number 4, we're both in agreement.
Yeah.
And
Now we
now
get into some good stuff here.
all right,
This
go ahead.
will
You
be the
lead the
one.
way.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to go at number 3.
Yeah.
I'm
on,
going
man.
Tua Tagovailoa, number 3
Okay.
in the division. I know
All right.
everybody's going to say, "Oh, he should be number 1." Whatever, all these. But no, I think
don't
if we
know.
were drafting them just for this season, how would we draft them? I mean, there's many ways to look at this. And Tua did a great job. You talked about it. Mike McDaniel it's a tremendous offense. Then they went
Right.
out and got OBJ to be the third receiver. Now,
Love it.
how would you like to have that with Mike McDaniel? And he made a great comment once in a press conference that I don't think I'll ever forget. He goes, if our quarterback has to look at one receiver, then find the next one, we did a bad job
Yeah.
because we got to design plays where the one he's supposed to look at is going to be open.
Right.
And I went, wow, what an endorsement. What a thing to say. But it does explain him a lot. A lot of window dressing, a lot of stuff. Tua took advantage of it, no doubt, last year. I thought it did slow down at times as the year went on.
Right.
It got a little tougher sometimes. And, you and I have talked about this on these podcasts and to each other. The thing that makes me come up with Tua, late in the year, Jets, going there, going to Buffalo and playing going to New England. They can
Kansas
all
City.
be bad. Well, Kansas City, which we saw in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And, that kind of sticks with me. The Buffalo game at the end of the year, I did not think he played well at all. And then, of course, in Kansas City, just watching the game as a fan, early in the game, I went, oh, my God, they're not going to be able to throw the ball.
Right.
I know he threw a touchdown to Tyreek Hill, but it wasn't like he was wide open and he made a great throw.
Right.
He underthrew it. Tyreek Hill made an adjustment, whatever. So, hey, I got great confidence in what they do on the offensive side. And Tua, I just see some of those liabilities. That's why he's number 3 in this division for me, but because of some of the things I just said, of course.
And a lot of the big discussion surrounding Tua this offseason really has been the fact that he's kind of slimmed up. He's lost weight. The year before, he's coming back from the concussions and all those things. He bulks
Yeah.
up, he gets bigger, he gets stronger. Now he's kind of reverting back to, I want to be lighter, I want to be faster, I want to be a little quicker in the pocket, moving and all those things. How do you feel about that change, or kind of like his player, how he's kind of morphed into this NFL player? Do you like the changes that he's made going into this season, being a little bit lighter and slimmer to his frame?
I like the lighter and slimmer much better than I do let's bulk up and do that to protect himself.
Okay.
His bulking up to me was, I think he naturally can be a big guy, a thick guy, all that.
Right.
But I like what he's done trimming up. He's going to be looser, more agile, and no matter what, even if he's not training to get quicker and faster, he will be, because he's moving around less weight on his body.
Right.
And I think too, sometimes you recover. That's faster, whatever. And I want to just see. I think one thing I do want to see from Tua. Yes, he's a great passer. Is he a great thrower? And that answer is no. And I want to see if it being trimmer, a little more dynamic and all that is going to give him a little more pep on the football. If it does, then it's just going to push that offense higher up than it already is.
Right.
And we know the scheme, the talent around him, all those things are really good.
Absolutely.
And let's see if he can improve not to match it, because he showed that he could last year. He was in the MVP race almost to the end, but to be the driving force behind it, to make sure, or to make us believe that they are a true Super Bowl contender.
Right. And I feel like they are kind of on that edge of, do we consider them a contender, or are they still, kind of that, are they a wild card team that maybe can win that first round? And really that's about it. And I think a lot of that has to go to just Mike McDaniel and really how he develops as a head coach. We discussed this multiple times, like you said earlier, just how creative he is. Even the comment that you made from his interview, how he does a great job of getting number one open, right? But the one thing that I think comes up most often, right, you see Tua's lack of physical ability to really be physically dynamic as a thrower in important games, but then also to the offense itself being able to kind of impose their will on defenses at times. If the gizmos and gadgets and the smoke and mirrors of our offense aren't just firing on all cylinders. And we saw that with the Kansas City Chiefs. They were a great team that just got up in the face of the Miami Dolphins, really were aggressive at the line of scrimmage, didn't get all this free releases or let all these trick plays get all this open space. And that really, I feel like, it kind of strangled them in their offense and how they find their rhythm. So that is something I think Mike McDaniels as a whole, along with Tua, they need to continue to develop that, for their future progress, or just be so damn dominant, in the regular season that they just get home field advantage.
Yeah, well, that's true. That's one way to eliminate some of those problems.
Right.
But again, there's quite a few cities when you start talking about the hierarchy: Baltimore, Buffalo, the Jets, New England, Kansas City. Wow. Right away, that's a pretty big group of teams. If you go play in those situations, no matter what time of year it is, you can run up against something that's tough on quarterbacks' physical abilities
Cincinnati
to perform in that. And Cincinnati can be too, yes.
Right.
So Pittsburgh, I mean,
Cleveland.
It just keeps going.
Yeah.
Cleveland might be the hellhole of all, weather-wise. I mean, come on.
Yeah, that's unbelievable. But you're right.
Yeah, it really is.
Right.
All right, that's pretty good. So we got Tua. So we'll get a lot of feedback, and people are going to hate on you for us picking him number 3. And but as we go along, okay, let's just go ahead. Number 2.
Number 2. I think we're both going to agree.
Wait, the AFC East. Okay, I said it right.
You did it.
I know. Yes, you're still making fun of me for last week when I was talking about one thing and did the other division. I don't know what the hell.
I mean, Phil, we were like 20 minutes into the show and you talked about a whole other division all of a sudden. So
I was trying to see if you were alert and staying with me. So okay, right. Is it me this time at number 2? Yeah, it's my turn.
Go ahead. Yeah, number 2. Who you got, player?
Number 2 is going to be Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, yep. And I think another thing, I'm just say it real quick. They got Tyrod Taylor backing him up this year,
which I love.
I do too.
Yeah.
He can fit any system. He's great for the starting quarterback. He's good for the team. You name it. It's just check all the way down.
That's right.
He can be a great backup, no doubt. Aaron Rodgers, yeah, listen, I still do believe in that arm. He's going to run an offense that Nate Hackett runs, which he knows extremely well. And hell, he's teaching them. He teaches other players on the team that because he's been in it so long
Yeah.
and knows so much. And no matter what we say, a couple things. Aaron Rodgers is very smart. Football, I'm just talking about football. Football
Right.
smart. And then the talent, just when I watch him on TV all the time, they're always talking about it. That ball comes out of his hand the right way. When you see him in person, you can make you a believer that he is still a great thrower of the football and can be a great passer too.
Right.
And, the one thing I think he'll do is I don't expect Aaron Rodgers. You tell me what you think about the year. I don't see him putting up these big numbers every week. I think he's going to be great. And I've said this many times in the past. He is a really, really good game manager.
Right.
And he can manage games by throwing the ball 4 yards and 5 yards about as well as anybody I know. He's
Right.
never I'm serious.
I know.
He is not scared of, it's 2nd and 8 and getting 3 yards. All right, 3rd and 5, right in my wheelhouse again. Get rid of the ball quick. Throw a dart to somebody that's just barely open, and he makes it happen. I'll never forget, and I know I've said this too, he's out in Arizona, and they're playing, and they're getting kind of manhandled. He's in Green Bay. They're getting manhandled, but he is going to get rid of the football so quick and just massaging the game and making it work. And I think we're going to see a lot of that when we look at the New York Jets, their receiving core, how they run their team with a great defense. I think that pulls an offense back sometimes, and I think that's the right thing too. So that's why I got Aaron Rodgers there at number 2.
Yeah, he's number 2 in this division. And listen, 2 is great, but Aaron Rodgers still has the ability to be an MVP-like caliber football player along with Tua, along with, the man who is yet to be named on our list. And, that's what's exciting about this division, that if, these guys can stay healthy, this is really going to be a super fun race in this division that really will be that much more of a battle compared to what we saw last year because of Aaron Rodgers' injury. So that'll be the big question mark. Just, how confident, how healthy he feels, obviously coming off the Achilles injury. He is getting up there in age. So just being confident and being strong in the pocket that way. Are we going to see a little bit more of a Peyton Manning aspect to the game at times where it's a little bit like chuck and duck and let's not take any unnecessary hits when we have to. But the skill group itself, though, if Mike Williams can stay healthy, we know how good Garrett Wilson could be. We hope to see more of what Garrett Wilson is really capable of. Alan Lazard, big, strong, physical guy, and then really it kind of comes down to just Breece Hall, Braylon Allen, the rookie from Wisconsin, I think this team is built, like you're saying, a little bit more on an old school thought process of just let's just matriculate the ball down the field and then let Aaron make the 2 or 3 throws in the low red zone area with one-on-one throws that he does so great, right? His quintessential, Phil Simms back shoulder throw, right, to Mark Bavaro and things like that. So that's really where this team is built. The great thing for them too, and I think for Jets fans, the bulking up the offensive line with just depth, right? So Morgan Moses, Tyron Smith, Elijah Vera Tucker now moves back into guard where he is more familiar and comfortable with and being more consistent. So I think overall this team is built for, long-term success throughout the season through the playoffs. And now really just let's piece it all together. And I like the fact that it seems to be a quiet offseason too for the New York Jets.
Yeah. It was until somebody missed minicamp. But
I know.
All right, it's over. Who cares? I don't even care about it, to be honest. I don't even talk about it. I will say this. I would be shocked if Aaron Rodgers is in the MVP race because of how we describe the football team. He's not going to put up the gaudy numbers. Now, if he takes the team and all of a sudden – late in the year, we look at them and they're 12-3 or something like that. You go, well, he might be the huge part of that would get him in the MVP race even without the numbers.
See, I agree. I don't think the numbers necessarily have to match MVP like stuff because if he has
that's what everybody judges them.
If he has that 28-5 touchdown to interception ratio, and you're right, the Jets are a 12-3 football team. I think the New York media will take care of that for him alone.
Okay. That's interesting. But
You know,
come on. We're talking about TV and,
yeah.
hey, let's talk about it.
I
Even
know
though the
Mike
Jets,
Greenberg will sell it. I know
yeah,
if that's the
yeah.
stat line and the Jets are doing it, I know Mike Greenberg will make sure that he is. How can
Oh,
we not
yeah.
consider my friend Aaron Rodgers? I mean, what
Yeah.
he is
Well,
doing, it just
Matt,
I
here
love when
be
he gets so excited about the Jets.
yes, he does. Here's the other side, though. Well, look at his quarterback rating and,
Right,
this,
right.
and, they'll get into all these numbers and, yeah, oh
Yeah.
my God. That's why, well, whatever. I don't want to get into that story either.
But it is an interesting team this season. I
Yeah.
think they all understand that this really is like we got to put it together this year or we're all out, And I think that's why, other than the mini camp snafu, why it has been relatively quiet, on the home front for the New York Jets, because
Right.
they really are just trying to like batten down the hatches and get back to work after last year's such exciting build up to the season with Hard Knocks and all those things. So
All right.
it's really exciting. I look forward to it as a New York fan in general, of just seeing the Jets and Giants kind of take that next step forward.
Well, for the Jets, it's going to be big news always. It's either going to be good or bad, So if it
Right,
falls, if it falls apart, then it's still going to be a big story. If it's great, it'll be a big story. All right,
right.
you got to give the next one. It was hard to figure out who we were going to put at one,
I know.
but I did it. I studied it. I looked at all the numbers and all the stuff, and it was tough. It was really hard.
Yep. And you know who it is? It's Josh Allen. And
Yeah,
how can it
baby.
not be Josh Allen, right? I mean,
Yeah.
he's arguably a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. Where you put him in that top 5, that's totally up to you, but he's absolutely in that top 5. There's no doubt about it. And really, I really am excited for them as well, and even Joe Brady, offensive coordinator, who assumes the role halfway through the year last year after the Ken Dorsey debacle and firing, which is unprecedented. I feel like, for us to see that, especially for a team that's potentially contending for a Super Bowl. But it seemed like those two really meshed extremely well,
Right.
despite what maybe Buffalo Bills fans think. I still have faith in Sean McDermott. I think that he is a phenomenal football coach. Defense only gave up, I think, like 18 points per game last year, which is 4th in the NFL. So, like, dude knows how to coach. This team's just got to figure out how to win some of those gritty, tough games against, one of the greatest dynasties that we've seen in the game recently with the Kansas City Chiefs and a few other really good football teams like we've mentioned in the AFC. So, my question to you is, like, because we know how great Josh Allen is, right? And his talent and what he brings to the table for this football team. He's really a one-man show, it seems like, a lot of the weeks. Are you concerned with Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills skill group going into this season? Obviously with Stephon Diggs departing for Houston.
No, I'm not. I'm not
Okay.
as concerned about that as I am with their defense. Can it hold up and be
Okay.
what we expect from them and Sean McDermott? Can Von Miller, who's saying some nice things during the offseason, can he have one more rebound where he is a factor in games and
Right.
can, affect it with pressure on the quarterback, sacks, whatever comes about? So I think what we saw from Joe Brady last year, I have extreme confidence in what he's going to do.
Okay.
And I look at the skill group, as we talk about skill groups, will we put them in the top 10 in the NFL? No, I don't think we would even think about that. But it is Josh Allen, his movement, his incredible power throws,
Yeah.
all that stuff. That is going to help this offense so much. And then what they did at the end of the year. I mean, here, let's get into this too. The Josh Allen hate has definitely calmed down a lot. Let's look at the playoff games. Look at his playoff performances.
Yeah.
They lose because of the coaches in that great game out in Kansas City. The players had nothing to do with that.
Right.
That was a win. You got to be standing on the sideline and go, the game is over.
Right.
But the coaches lost the game. And then, of course, everybody goes into the playoff game last year, which I have griped and bitched about so much, and it's over.
Yeah.
But he played great. Not good, not really good. He was great in that game.
Yeah.
With doing everything. And they missed the field goal. Just like when they played the Denver Broncos. They win the game. Oh, sorry. We had 12 guys on the field. Try again.
Right.
And they kicked the field goal and make it. So, Matt, yeah, I think I'll let you talk about the skill groups. Keon Coleman, they did a really good job of picking up stuff, moving. They had him marked as the guy. They got him. I liked him a lot at Florida State.
Right.
Big, perfect for Buffalo. And I think you got an added element there too. He's a funny dude. I don't know if he tries to be funny, but damn, he's funny.
Yeah.
So why don't you
I
talk about the skill group when you do
Yeah.
this?
I think Keon Coleman, really good football player, one of my favorite receivers in this draft. And I like exactly what you're saying. Just, the physical presence that he brings to the field. He's big, he's strong, he plays aggressive over the middle. The amount of tough catches that he made in traffic last year for Jordan Travis and the Florida State Seminoles was absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
And he makes them with relative ease very consistently, it seemed like, each and every football game. So excited for his development as being that receiver one for this group. They got in Curtis Samuel, Khalil Shakir, Marcos Valdez-Scantling, even Mac Hollins, guys that I think are, tough, gritty, proven NFL football players that, maybe singled out one by one. You're thinking, all right, he's not maybe on the top of the totem pole, but I think as a group, they can mesh very well with each other with a stud like Keon Coleman. And then really the focus outside of Keon Coleman goes to James Cook and Dalton Kincaid, right?
Dalton
and
Kincaid
really
in the
just
pass game, yeah.
those three guys making sure that they really are just the foundation in which your team is built on offensively. And then, of course, like you're saying, Josh Allen's just physical ability to make the 5 or 6 throws every game that maybe him and, I don't know, 2 or 3 other quarterbacks in the league can make. Patrick Mahomes, maybe Justin Herbert, and that's really about it after that. That's like he's in the class, and is maybe Matt Stafford too, as far as those power throws, those dynamic throws down the field. So overall, yeah, is the skill group, like you're saying, fantastic, or one of the best but I think they do all kind of play into each other extremely well. And Marcus Valdez-Scantling, I think, is a guy that, like, super good football player. Everyone got on him for the drop during the regular season, I think, against the Philadelphia Eagles, but made a lot of big catches late in the year for that football team, a lot of contested catches, and that's really what they'll need for a player like Josh Allen, who does like to throw those passes into tight coverage, the back shoulders, the aggressive throws down the field where the defense thinks they're covered, and he makes their guys open by his power throwing.
Well, here, look, we got Josh Allen. We got Dalton Kincaid. If he can even play like he did last year, that's great. We got Keon Coleman, who we expect. So you take those 3, that's all you need. We got Cook in the back, whatever. The rest they fill in the blanks.
Right.
And that's what happens. You don't have to have 3 number 1 receivers. When you have 1 or 2, then there's going to be plays out there for other guys because of the skill, the guys that we look at.
Right.
And that's what I saw from Buffalo last year at the end of the year. They quit focusing completely on Stephon Diggs and moved it all around. And I thought we saw an offense that kind of kept, as a fan, I'm watching the game. Well, this has got to be Josh Allen throwing. Oh, it's a run. Oh, it's a screen to this guy. Oh, how did this other guy, who I don't even know he was on the damn team, caught a pass? He was wide open. It's because of the other skill guys.
Right.
So, but there's going to be exciting to see this whole division, how it plays out with the quarterbacks, their offenses, and just everything we talked about. So that was some good stuff. And we agreed on every piece, right?
We did.
Is that right?
We agreed on every single pick in this division. So I look forward. We have one more division to go. That's the NFC East.
Right.
So tune into the next episode. We'll go through that. I doubt we'll agree on this division, because Big Phil is a huge Giants homer. So we'll see. But, wow. It's going to be interesting. And this has been fun. So I look forward to doing that last episode of the NFC East for sure.
Yeah, see, your mother is listening. See what I told you? I told you. He took another shot at me. I'm a big homer.
There.
She's right here.
Whatever.
She's so mad at you, she don't even want to talk to your ass. So let's move on. All right. Hey, that was pretty good, Matt.
That's all we got. Yep. Sims Complete on Believe, Sims Complete YouTube page as well. Like, comment, subscribe. Ask some questions, talk some smack. You've been very good at that too. And just so you know, if anyone answers in the comment section, it's not Big Phil, it's me. So, just so you know, just to not get any more hate for Big Phil and some of the comments he makes.
Oh, really? People don't like some of the things I'm saying?
No, it's mainly just me. They just want me to shut up.
I'm just giving them the truth. you know.
No, you're doing great. They just don't want to
Not
hear from me.
oh, that's a lot too. So all right, well, good stuff, man. Let's have a good
All
day
right.
and I'll talk to you later.
Hey, you the man. And we'll be back with the next episode for the NFC East breakdown. Sims Complete. We'll be back. See ya.